Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're hearing a bunch of reporting coming from Jake Fisher of the Mark Stein line, basically, as well as from Shams Charania on an appearance on the Pat McAfee show. Specifically, they're saying that the Warriors, Shams specifically is saying that the Warriors have called about every single All-NBA All-Star player available. Wow. Jake Fisher, as you guys see on the screen, is reporting that the Warriors are trying to figure out a way to bring LeBron and Kevin Durant to Golden State. So before we start today's video, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Do you guys think this is preposterous? And what is your thoughts on this potentially happening? And the reports read something like this. So what are we going to talk about today? Do you guys see how slow this video is going? Skip a little bit ahead right there for you guys. I don't know why it was moving that slow. I do have like our studio and a bunch of applications open on here, but either way, that's not what you guys care to be here for. So the Warriors are trying to find a way to bring LeBron James and Kevin Durant to Golden State, which is obviously an ambitious idea, which Jake Fisher says, but the most feasible pathway of doing this is sounding like they're gonna have to trade a bunch of players, because we had already heard earlier, which we made a video a few days ago during the stream, and that was that Mark Stein reported that the Warriors had conversations with Chicago before obviously Chicago traded Zach LaVine to Sacramento of a package that included both LaVine and Vucevic this weekend. And Golden State continues to deliberate over pursuing Jimmy Butler and, wait for it, the feasibility of reuniting Kevin Durant with Steph Curry. Now, the Warriors have inquired whether LeBron would change his mind on waiving the no trade clause, and he has shown no indication that he would be willing to trade the no trade clause. And that inquiry could lead to that opinion changing between now and Thursday's trade deadline. Obviously, Mark Stein and Jake Fisher wrote on the Stein line that the Suns are listening to various team trade offers for Kevin Durant. The path to Durant alone obviously does seem plausible, but Phoenix, entering Monday's business, continue to signal that it does not plan to move Kevin Durant before the deadline. Obviously, the Suns have said that they're open to listening to some of the various teams' pitches for the 35-year-old legend. And Durant, meanwhile, has said that he's aware of all this. So it's basically, if you guys send us a god offer, we'll take it. And the Suns have also said that they maintain a very high asking price for Kevin Durant that would need to have draft capital as well as highly rated young talent. The Suns do have some level of interest in Jonathan Kuminga. So, of course, if we're going to be talking about a trade and all that good stuff, we obviously have to go to Fanspo Trade Machine and understand or visualize how a deal of this magnitude could look like. As I see that I froze, and we're going to be editing all of this, so my apology if any of this seems off. Now, let's go ahead and add ourselves the trade machine, which should be right here. Let's go. I have no idea why we're so laggy, which never typically happens. I really think it's because I have our studio open, and as a result, that's why I'm like this. But here we go. I'm just gonna get rid of me to not use it as much CPU. So we're gonna go ahead and put the Warriors, Lakers, and Suns all into the trade machine just to visualize. By the way, Fanspo has updated second apron and first apron salary cap stuff, so I'm back to using them. I was using Spot Rack for a little bit, or Spot Track. I really don't know how you're supposed to say it, but the obvious assumption, this is almost $100 million in salary they would be taking on, right? Yeah, $99.9 million in salary, which is absolutely insane to think about. All right, so I'd have to assume if you're the Suns, you're trading a wing, so to the Wiggins to the Suns. Green, if he is traded in this scenario, because the money, it's the Lakers, they need a big guy. I guess Gary Payton goes to the Suns in this scenario, and Kyle Anderson, Lakers need front court help. Buddy Hield would stay. and the Suns would want Kuminga, they said, and Buddy Hield maybe to the Lakers as well. And I think this actually can happen right here. Is this the money that in terms of everything? So they still have to remove almost $15 million to make this deal possible, which both teams combined have about $15 million that they could take on. I thought we had added Kevon, but I think the Lakers would want Kevon. And then like we're still like a few million short, which would again have to lead to you including random contracts and salaries that make absolutely no sense on how they would get this done, because we've already four and looking at like how the team's been split up. Okay, Lindy Waters goes to the Suns, Guy Santos to the Lakers. Like, there you go. And I think that should allow you to do the deal. Now you're still not able to do the deal because now the Lakers are over $900,000. So can we take off Guy Santos and get this deal done? Okay, so Guy would have to go to the Suns. So in this deal, to get this done, you would have to... Wow. So even if we send Guy Santos over there, the Lakers would still have to cut. Obviously, they need six. They'd have to sign a bunch of players, but to do this deal, who's a minimum contract? Cam Reddish right here to the Warriors. And what other minimum contracts? I guess in this scenario, Bronny James would have to be traded to the Warriors because they wouldn't want that to Bronny just get left there. Yeah, there you go. That's your insane trade that would have to go down if this were to be. Suns walk away with Wiggins, Gary Payton, Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podojemski, Lindy Waters, Guy Santos, and then Draymond Green, Kyle Anderson, Buddy Hield, and Kevon Looney all end up in Los Angeles with Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, and Bronny James ending up in Golden State. That's before we even start talking draft picks. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. This is ridiculous, right? Isn't it? I personally think it's preposterous. I think what was going to happen. And so wild stuff. Did this just freeze the recording?